It's funny how you can feel a room shift the second you walk in, even before anybody says a word. You just know every set of eyes is weighing, measuring, trying to decide what to do with you. That's exactly how it felt the moment I stepped into the Lanier shooting range in Austin. The stairs hit harder than the rifle in my hands, every laugh and side glance stacking up, like I was the punchline to some tired old joke. You ever been somewhere and felt the mood turn just because of who you are or what you look like? Yeah, that happened. Anyway, I was just trying to focus on the target, find my breath, when suddenly this giant paw lands on my shoulder. "That's not how you hold a rifle, sweetheart," came this voice loud enough for the whole place to hear. Then, just like that, my rifle's yanked away. Mike Thompson, head instructor big guy, voice like a thunderclap, holds it up like he's discovered a bomb, starts in about how ladies like you should stick to baking pies. The whole range is howling now. Phones out, fingers pointing, someone shouts, "Get her back to the kitchen." All I could do was stand there, burning with embarrassment, hands shaking but not giving in because they had no idea who they were humiliating. You see, I'm Rebecca Mitchell, 35, single mom to my son Tyler, new to Austin. We moved here 6 months ago, starting over after some rough years in North Carolina. I took a job as an admin at Oak Ridge Elementary, nothing flashy, but steady, just the kind of normal I thought we needed. Most folks only saw Rebecca the school lady or Rebecca the neighbor with the Honda Civic. No one knew about my past or cared to ask. Tyler, Thuff, remembered who I used to be. One night, as we were unpacking boxes, he looked up and asked, "Mom, why'd you stop shooting? You loved it." I want to tell him it was easier to let go of some things, but the truth is I missed the calm, the focus, the feel of a rifle. So I gave in. I signed up for the annual shooting competition at the Lanier Club, told myself I was just going to watch, but deep down, I knew I was hoping for more. Lanier was supposed to be the best range in Texas, at least, according to their website. Big facility, polished lanes, bourbon in the members' lounge, and a club roster that was about as male-dominated as a 1950s business convention. When I paid my registration fee and checked the competitor box, the clerk looked at me like I was ordering steak at a vegan restaurant. The day of the competition, I showed up early, jeans button up, hair pulled back, coffee in hand. The parking lot was full of trucks, men in shooting vests, all of them sizing me up. At the check-in, 2 guys in matching vest, Aaron Miller and his buddy, grinned and told me Ladies' Day isn't till Thursday. I just smiled and said I was there to compete. They cracked up, made some football joke, and went off to brag about their latest hunting trip. Everywhere I went that morning, the message was clear: I didn't belong. Someone even bet $10 I wouldn't hit the target. Another said I'd be crying before the first round ended. When I asked a young competitor about the course, he sent me to the wrong spot on purpose, then laughed with his friends when I left. The range manager, "Chuck a reel, don't tread on me," type handed me the worst lane, the one with broken lights and a slanted platform. I overheard him joke about quota hires and how maybe the targets should be shaped like dirty dishes for the ladies. He didn't even try to hide it. During the safety briefing, the assistant range master, Bill, went out of his way to ignore me. Twice he skipped my name during roll call until I had to remind him I existed. Every instruction was aimed at the guys inside, jokes about hunting with dads, military service, stuff meant to exclude. When I asked a question, he suggested I might be happier in the observation area with the other ladies. Even the club president, Gary Hoffman, came by to suggest maybe I should compete as a novice or just join the beginner class for mimosas. I told him I'd been certified at the expert level before. He didn't buy it. The real slap in the face was when I saw the competition being live-streamed on social media, comments flying in about wives out of the kitchen and Karen thinks she's G.I. Jane. By the second round, some meme of me was making the rounds online. Worst of all, Tyler texted kids at school had already seen the video, teasing him about his loser mom. I nearly walked out, hid in the bathroom, listening to 2 girlfriends of competitors trash talk the deluded woman who thought she could shoot. By round 3, I was mentally exhausted, sunburned, and using a rifle that didn't fit me. Then came the form checks. The head judge, Ray Dalton, made me demonstrate my stance 3 times, calling out supposed safety issues in front of everyone. My shots were judged more harshly than anyone's shits marked as misses, targets scrutinized with magnifying glasses. When I questioned a call, Dalton acted like I'd just insulted America itself. By the time the final elimination round came, I was dead last, pitted against a kid named Jason. The announcer set it up like my exit was inevitable. But as I stepped up to the line, something snapped. I was done shrinking, done pretending. In that moment, I wasn't at Lanier anymore. I was back in Afghanistan, lying on a ridge, waiting for a shot that would save my team. I reached for the silver ring on my finger, a quiet reminder of who I was and what I'd done. I shifted into the stance that made me top of my unit, slowed my breathing, and let everything else fade out. The first shot, bullseye. The second, another. By the third, the range was dead quiet. By the 10th, splitting my first bullet in half, people were abandoning their own lanes to watch. The ring caught the light, and for the first time, I heard a voice in the silence, your Mitchell. Staff Sergeant Rebecca Mitchell. Mike Thompson, the instructor, had recognized the ring, the same one given to members of my old unit. Suddenly, Chuck the manager was running background checks. The judges were whispering, and Hoffman's face went white. Turns out being the Angel of Kandahar means something in some circles, even if they tried to forget it was a woman. Now everyone wanted to shake my hand, offer a free membership, even an instructor job. The club scrambled to correct. My scores put me second overall. Darren Miller, who'd mocked me all morning, actually asked for advice on his shooting. I gave it because that's what real shooters do. But when Mike Thompson came over, apologizing for his behavior, I didn't let him off easy. It wasn't okay, I told him, and he accepted that, said he'd help if I started a youth program at the range. And I did, bringing in kids, girls, and boys, some of them daughters of the very men who'd laughed at me that first day. 3 months later, Tyler's out there helping teach, proud, standing a little taller. The range feels different now, still rough around the edges, but better. Darren Miller's daughter, Jessica, is shooting like a pro. Sometimes, people just need to see someone who looks like them doing something they were told wasn't for them. Driving home with Tyler that night, he asked why I didn't put those guys in their place right away. I told him, sometimes the real fight isn't proving you're better, it's knowing who you are when everyone else says you don't belong. That's real strength, using your power to open doors for others, not just for yourself. So, what about you? Would you have shown your cards early or waited for that moment of redemption? Share what you think. Sometimes, the sweetest victory isn't the trophy. It's changing the game for everyone who comes after you.